Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to create this self-love typography in IBIS Paint X app. I used so much different brushes that I haven't used before and added some texture. I hope you like this. Watch the full video. Let's start. First, I am not an expert in hand lettering, so I used font Amita Bold to create this self-love text. Once I created the self-love text, I am going to reduce the opacity of the layer and creating a new layer and using this brush. I don't know what this brush is. I downloaded it from online, and the the brush name is in other language, so I don't know the brush name. So I'm going to trace the text self-love in a new layer using this brush and adding some more shapes to the text already, which is, so I'm adding like some bends, few more shapes to make it look like different typography text. So because I'm not that much good in hand lettering, I preferred this tracing. So I used that font in background and adding some changes, and once I'm done with the tracing, I just filled the entire text with the same brush. I didn't use bucket tool because I want some texture to the font text, so I used the same brush to fill the color. So this gives some texture, that's why. So once I'm done, I'm going to I deleted that reference text layer, and now I'm using digital pen eraser to erase at the center, so to create some different font style. So you can see I didn't use any white color pen or brush. I used a digital pen eraser, and to erase the big part I used a bucket eraser tool, which is when you click on the bucket and there will be two options, one to fill and another one is to erase. I used that erase option in the bucket to fill big parts, and used the eraser digital pen eraser to create this line, erase that part. So this is different, I like it. So okay, I'm done with the font. I created this beautiful font, and I'm applying some background color, some lavender like that, and I'm creating the clipping layer for the text layer, which means the self-love layer, and using flat brush point to add the some highlight kind of texture I'm going to apply. So I'm using flat brush point. I on the force fade, which is available at the top next to the stabilizer. So I on the force fade option, and using this brush. I also on the follow rotation option available in the brush settings, and adding some highlights here and there, not to the entire shape, only at the bends and somewhere where it is bulged like that. So I am using highlights in that part alone. I used aqua blue color for this. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to use another brush called crayon to add some petals. I'm using BG color and using separate new layer for this. I'm using the crayon brush to draw this and drawing some petals like shape, and I'm going to fill the inside of the petals with the same brush, same color, because I'm not using bucket here also, bucket tool, because I want it to be more textured instead of like plain same color. I want it to be textured, that's why I'm using this. In the beginning of learning digital art, I wondered why many artists preferring this or applying the same brush all over instead of just using bucket tool. Bucket tool is very easy, and I wonder why they didn't. And now I understand, because texture matters. That's why I'm also applying texture and I'm filling the space with the texture brush. And once I'm done, I'm adding some texture using flat brush, flat line brush, and used a red color for this, and I'm doing this texture in a clipping layer. Added a separate clipping layer for the above the petal layer, and I want it to be like faded one, not the edgy one. So I'm using the airbrush eraser to erase some the starting points of the texture. And once I'm done, I'm going to create a new layer above the background lavender color layer, and using charcoal mode brush to add some texture to this. I made the brush size to the maximum and using mild beige color for this, and at the center I'm used a beige color, and at the corners I used a dark purple like color to create that circular gradient effect. And the texture of the charcoal mode is super awesome. It gives super cool texture. And finally the typography is ready. If you like my tutorial, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.